Hi, my name is Anna. Welcome to my channel, Death Travels. I travel the world to learn about different traditional or non-traditional funeral and mourning customs. And today I'm in Holland, in Amsterdam, and I've been here for a couple of weeks now. Amsterdam actually has an amazing funeral museum. It's very small. It's called Tot Zover. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. It was established in 2007, and it's based on the grounds of the cemetery that is almost 100 years old. It is, as I mentioned, really small, and I think it just comprised of 4 rooms and only 2,000 objects, but from what I saw on the website, it is fantastic. So I decided to come here today. It's a beautiful Saturday, and I'm hoping that they will let me record inside. Is it okay if I film?
No.
I can't film in the museum?
No.
Why is that?
A few moments later.
Okay, so we're inside the museum, Tot Zover, and it really is a very uplifting space. If you look around, it's very bright. When you think about the funeral museum, you would think that it's going to be really dark and really gray, etc. But it's not. In fact, it feels really, really welcoming. So the first thing I see is, because these are just photos from different funerals. I'm really surprised in how uplifting again they are, like happy and bright, compared to what I'm used to when it comes to Eastern Europe. And let's start with the room in the back. Okay, one of the most interesting artifacts when it comes to mourning are post-mortem photos. So these are photos that were taken after a person died. In the 19th century especially, the mortality among children was super high. And those photos, so I think 2/3 of those photos are possibly photos of kids, because the mortality rate was so high. That would be often the only photo that the parents would have of their deceased child. And you can see that these are possibly 19th century, if I am correct. This photo in the center here is probably American, because it's kept in the special box. This photo is it doesn't have a negative, so it was a special, very old technique. I forgot the name of it, but I'm going to put the name in the description. And they were very expensive, so you had to have a lot of money to actually be able to pay for it. And they were kept in special boxes. It's very sad. Death masks. I'm very excited about those. I've never seen so many in one spot. I'm very excited about the one in the middle here, as you can see. You may actually recognize this lady. It's almost like, hey, do I know you? Have I seen you before? And the answer for many of you is yes, you probably did seen this face before, and I'll tell you in a second why. But before that, death masks were super popular in the 17th century. People actually wanted to collect the celebrity masks. So there were some people who really wanted to have like the biggest collections, sort of like stamp collection or something, but it's just for rich people who could afford it. If you were rich, you wanted to have your death mask made for you. I think one of the most famous ones was of Isaac Newton. Anyways, going back to our lady here, as you can see, she looks really pretty, very peaceful, very beautiful. And she is known as a girl from the Seine River. So her body was actually recovered in 1880 from the river. of course. And the coroner was so astonished by her beauty that he decided to make that death mask for her. She looks like she's smiling, looks really peaceful, and her story and sort of this mask became part of a culture in Europe, if you will. There were many copies made. There were stories and poems and even theater plays written about that girl. But what's the most interesting for me, I think, is, and the reason that you may have seen her before, is that her face was actually used as a face of the original rescue N, which was the CPR doll. Yes, so she actually has been sort of all across the globe helping people to learn how to rescue someone, because CPR is so popular in so many countries. We all learn that in school. Hopefully we do. We kind of all of us seen that face before. Look at her. In the 19th century, human hair was very often used in art. What you're looking at right now is made of human hair. Many people don't find this very attractive, actually a bit creepy today, and I totally can understand why. However, in the 19th century, if you had enough money, you could hire an artist, you could also do it yourself, and they would come to their clients, they would have like books, almost like catalogs with different designs, and they would paint a scene, for example, and use hair to decorate it. And some of the hair you can see in the shape of a tree, some flowers. As you can see, there's a lady here and probably her grave at the bottom. And this is made with her hair. This is very elaborate here. It looks like this lady's hair is resting in peace. It was used to create this almost like a bouquet. There were paintings, there was jewelry. People make stuff that they could wear every day, sometimes with a little photo and maybe a lock of hair in the back, or in a closed, almost like a bulk medallion. There are even earrings you can see here that are made with hair, and those pieces are very unique. Today, I doubt that anyone would ever have anything like this in their house, but it used to be very popular, and it was sort of like a souvenir, as a memento, to remember the person, to sort of have a piece of that person near you, somewhere around the house that you could remember them by. Funeral cake. So apparently Dutch culture is known that, every culture has this meal after the funeral. It's to comfort the family, to give people a boost of energy, and so on. But Dutch culture is very specific when it comes to this, and people often invited for coffee and cake after the funeral. And this museum actually held a contest for funeral cakes, and this is apparently a winner. And I'm really interested in how those taste. Apparently they're a little bit, on the dry side, but I would love to try it. I'm hoping that it will be possible for me to do it while I'm still in Amsterdam. And check out this urn over there. It's called a cake urn, made for someone. I'm not gonna pronounce his name right now. He was a part of the LGBTQ plus community back I think he passed away in the 90s. And the artist was asked to make an urn that would not immediately sort of resemble the urn. So people would have a hard time understanding what they're looking at. I think his ashes were kept at home by his partner. And so she designed this cake urn Obviously, the wings and the heart represent love, and the fact that he's free if he flies, and of course the two candle holders in the shape of bananas, his sexuality, his orientation. And then there's I don't know if you can see that, but there's a bear. It's like a royal symbol with a sword. And apparently he was an artist who was really critical of the monarchy in Netherlands. So it's sort of like in this ironic, a little bit of ironic piece there, a bit of a joke that is on that urn. It was donated after his partner passed away. Their ashes were spread somewhere together, and this was donated to the museum. It's stunning. As I'm leaving the museum, through the beautiful cafeteria, there's more people that gathered. They're probably mourners, people who come to see the museum, but also people who just come to attend the funeral. But honestly, the vibe in this entire estate is more of a park than a cemetery. It just feels really uplifting and lively and full of life, if you will, more than anything. It's just beautiful, casual. So that was a trip to the museum. I've learned that this is probably the only funeral museum in the Western Europe, which I'll have to check that. But thanks for checking it out with me, and I'll see you next time.